When you are in your 20s, you rarely think you are making financial mistakes. You think you are simply living life, enjoying your freedom, rewarding yourself of working hard, finally experiencing independence. And honestly, none of it feels wrong. But I am 47 now, and when I look back at my 20s, I don't see bad decisions. I see small money habits that quietly slowed down my financial progress for years. Not dramatic mistakes, just small choices repeated many times. So, today I want to share the biggest money mistakes I made in my 20s. So, if you are younger than me, you can learn them much earlier than I did. First mistake. In my 20s, I believed success should look visible. If I was earning money, I felt my lifestyle should show it. A better phone, better clothes, more diners outside, more upgrades. It didn't feel irresponsible. It felt like progress. But what I didn't realize was something important. My expenses were growing faster than my stability. And that's a dangerous pattern when you're young. Because the habits you build early quietly follow every salary increase later. So, if you are in your 20s, remember this. Looking successful early often delays becoming financially secure later. Second mistake. Another mistake I made was believing small savings didn't matter. I used to tell myself, I'll start saving seriously when my income becomes higher. But something interesting happens in real time. Income increases slowly, but expenses increase immediately, and lifestyle inflation quietly steals your savings potential. And before you realize it, years have passed. By the time I understood the power of early saving, I had already missed some of the most valuable years of compounding. Even small amounts saved consistently in your 20s can create surprisingly large results later. So, if you are young and listening to me, start saving before it feels necessary. Even $50 a month in your 20s can grow into thousands later because of compounding. Third mistake. In my 20s, I focused mostly on doing my job well, but I didn't focus enough on intentionally upgrading my skills. I assumed experience alone would increase my income, but over time, I realized something important. Income doesn't grow faster with experience. It grows fastest with valuable skills. Years passed, and I realized I had spent more time working than learning how to increase my value. So, if you're in 20s, don't only work hard, invest in skills that make your future income grow faster. Fourth mistake. Another quiet mistake I made was comparison. Friends buying cars, colleagues upgrading their lifestyles, social media showing people my age achieving instant success, and slowly, without realizing it, I started measuring my progress against theirs. That pressure creates dangerous financial decisions because when we rush into catch up, we often make choices that slow us down even more. So, if you are young and listening to me, focus on steady progress, not visible progress. Fifth mistake. In my 20s, I believed financial awareness could wait. I thought I will learn about budgeting, saving, and investing later. But later becomes harder because habits become stronger. And the longer we delay understanding money, the harder it becomes to change our behavior. So, earlier you are understanding how money works, the easier your financial life become in your 30s and 40s. The truth is, your 20s are not just about earning money. They are about forming money habits. Income grows with time, but habits stay unless you consciously change them. That's why small mistakes in your 20s can quietly become expensive patterns later in your life. If I could sit down with my younger self in his 20s, I wouldn't tell him to earn more. I would tell him to manage better, save earlier, learn faster, and ignore unnecessary comparisons. Because wealth is rarely built suddenly, it built quietly through disciplined decisions repeated for many years. If you are currently in your 20s, which of these mistakes do you think you might be making right now? Be honest with yourself because sometimes awareness alone is the first step toward changing your financial future.